set up how I want it. A little bit that way. A little too much. About there. I think that works, monkey.
Oh, you just always turn your butt to the camera, aren't you? You're facing the other direction a second ago. But you just can't stand watching me talk to the wall.
Okay. Cancel that. Up and there we are. All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome aboard. It's Monday. Sorry I didn't do a show on Friday. Things got busy. We have this thing called the Rotary Auction, which is like quite literally the largest community rummage sale in the world. And we had people come over for it, and they had a barbecuing and eating filet mignons off the grill. It was delicious. And so we did that instead of doing a show. So I hope you can forgive me, but I had a nice time. So welcome aboard on Monday. The market's still like, everything's okay. Even though all the reports coming out that delinquencies for homes are all-time highs. Foreclosures are up 200% since last month. The housing market is really just taking it to the balls there. On top of that, Dan Bongino, deputy director of the FBI, appears to have perhaps stepped down over his objections to the Epstein cover-up. Pam Bondi fired her ethics advising lawyer, most likely because he told her to, not do the cover-up. And it appears there seems to be some tide shifting. A lot of folks that were ignoring Trump's connections to Jeffrey Epstein a year ago are now like, holy shit, they were right the entire time. Yeah, Donald Trump was best friends with Jeffrey Epstein for 15, 20 years. They knew each other intimately. They had the same advisors, the same bankers. They ran the same circles. They were best friends. They were best buddies for that period of time. There's multiple lawsuits where Trump has been named as a person of interest, where Trump has been accused of sexually assaulting or raping children with Jeffrey Epstein, from Jeffrey Epstein. Yeah, of course he covered it up. And now he's trying to blame, Obama. For, dude, Obama has been in office for 10 years. Or 9 years, I guess. He wasn't there when Epstein first got arrested. It was George Bush who was in the presidency when Epstein first got arrested. And you were the guy who appointed Epstein's prosecutor to the cabinet. So yeah, he's kind of grasping at straws here on that whole deal. Another news, GameStop did nothing. Another hype day come and gone. Ryan's not pushing the button. He's auctioning off underwear. And it's cute for a while. I understand, trolling. It's fun. It is. But, 4.5 years of trolling without throwing a bone to your investors, it gets really old. And, just do something already, man. That's all I have to do. Just something. Do something. Do something that rewards your shareholders. Throw them a bone. If you invested in GameStop 4 years ago, you have less money in your account right now than you did then. 10%, more than 10% of my entire life has been spent invested in GameStop. I have not received 10% returns yet. Matter of fact, my shares overall are worth less now than they were 4 years ago. So, do something, man. You're a mover and shaker, wheeler and dealer. Just do something. Pull some triggers. Get some equity going. Get something that is more than just we bought some Bitcoin. Because I'm not seeing any of that. You are a billionaire. You can borrow against your shares tax-free, and then buy a private jet and a yacht tax-free, and travel the world and take all the time you need. But we don't have that luxury. We'd love to have that. We'd love to have a modicum of that luxury, a kiss of it, a weekend of that kind of luxury. But we don't. I'm hearing from folks who are selling shares because they got medical bills to pay, and you voted to eliminate their Medicare. So, come on, man. throw your investors a bone. If you want to be like Warren Buffett, you have to have empathy like Warren Buffett. Go out there and show that, man. Show it. Just give us just a little bit. Just the morsels, the scraps off your table. That's all it needs to be. Well, boink. Ooh, scratchy butt dog. Okay. Oh, Bill Coyne, right off the bat, got super chat. Wall Street Journal article, economists see lower recession risk and stronger job growth. Read it, and it contradicts itself. Who paid for these headlines? Yeah. Exports are at all-time lows. Consumer spending is dwindling. We are getting less. Employment is dropping. Tourism is vaporizing. Home values and home sales are plummeting. Commercial real estate's worth nothing. There isn't a single positive indicator in the entire economy right now. Not one. I challenge you to find a positive indicator in the economy. Bond yields are skyrocketing. Japan carry trades, man, that stuff is still so tenuous. Japan has its highest interest rates ever on their bonds. And remember, a lot of those people involved in Japanese carry trades, they borrowed at less than 1%, and now it's over 3%. So whatever returns they're going to get off of this market still have to outstrip that 3%. We're flirting with that 626 on the SPY, 625, and everyone's just waiting for whoomp when the tariffs come crashing down again. And those Japanese carry trades, they're going to be underwater. Between $7 and $20 trillion of them are going to be underwater. And we don't have the apparatus in place to get us out of a recession that we are definitely putting ourselves into. They fired everyone who would do that. All the experts who would take care of this stuff, who would synthesize information across public sector and private sector, who'd be contacts at the banks and the brokerages and everything else. They all got laid off, man. This is going to be like the flood in Kerr County, only financially. And this government does not have people in place who can react quickly to any of it. And their solution is going to be print money. They aren't going to have the tools left to do anything else. And then we're going to get hit with even more inflation. So it's going to be rough. It's, Bill, it's going to be rough. Juice Mammy sent 5 Houston Way gift memberships, but I'm not seeing them pop up. Who got them? Here we go. Arius Shadow, David Wick, Rycack, Larry Dubs, yay Larry, and Bex. We got 3 lurkers in that one. That's probably the highest, 60% lurker pickup. Nice job, Julio. That's the best one ever. That's the best returns we've had. Thank you. All right, to the top of the chat here. Corporate Walnut first. Corporate Walnut, if GME doesn't acquire Beyond, I am not really sure what we get besides Knowles and SPAC Shell. Yeah. They would just get Knowles and SPAC Shell. And the fact that you can go buy Beyond for about $500 million, and you get a company that has more or less $1 billion a year in revenue, seems like a screaming deal. It would be more of a screaming deal if they didn't close all the physical locations, because Bed Bath & Beyond, people like to touch the towels before they buy them. You ever notice that? Like, oh, this is a nice soft towel. I'm going to buy that towel. I don't think towel sales online are that great. There's certain things, like if it's in contact with your body all the time, you kind of want to touch it. It's not a fashion thing. It's a comfort thing. So yeah, I think having physical locations is a big deal. And Bed Bath & Beyond was a profitable company until they started doing all those stock buybacks and overcompensating executives. So it's not that hard to turn a brick and mortar back into being profitable again for a sector of the market people like tactile response from. So yeah, why not pick them up? $500 million bucks, screaming deal. Even like this type of thing you pick up right now, and the stock price is going to be basically the same as when the market collapses. Because people still need to buy towels and get toothbrush holders and pillowcases and whatnot. So I don't think that's such a bad idea. You pick up the whole overstock network and shipping and all that stuff. So yeah, why not? Why not get them both? Just reverse merger it back into its original holder. Could read second. Happy birthday, HW. So, Trump is tariffing Canada again August 1st. Looks like Carney might need to bring back the digital tax. Dumbest timeline. Yeah. I personally think everyone in the world, I mean, I'm an American, and we fully deserve it. Everyone in the world should just write us off at this point. Just be like, we don't need that in our lives. You guys are overcomplicating everything. You were the loud, noisy, obnoxious neighbors. Everyone would shut up and put us out of our misery at this point. Yeah, tariff the shit out of American goods. Don't buy our products. The only thing these folks are going to respond to is if their bottom dollar is hit, and it's going to be hit. I mean, Bitcoin is going absolutely knucking futz right now. And it's going knucking futz not necessarily because the price is going up. It's because the U.S. dollar is losing value against everyone else. You'll notice the price change in Swiss francs or in euros is not the same as the changes happening in US dollars. So, Zevios third, Ronald Rose, have you seen my baseball? Shelly Chiefs, got some baseballs for you. Louis throwing some graphs up there. Code Red K, not last, you were not. Sometimes Sommelier, I loved your GME thread on Twitter. I'm so sick of this play, and I hope to change my life eventually with the proceeds, but goddamn, it's been demoralizing. Yeah, if you didn't see, I posted, let's see here. I gotta throw this over here. Bing. Bong. There we go. Okay. Boom. Chrome. There we go. Okay. So I wrote that. That did not show up. There we are. So Mags wrote, "We won," with a little gift that says, "Help me." It's true. People are really starting to feel the pain of sort of the contractions of everything in this economy. Retail investors saved GameStop. We made it possible for Ryan Cohen to dilute enough shares to pay off debt and build a war chest. In the 4.5 years since we saved his company, our stock has been flat and no dividends. We defeated Italy, Japan, and Nazi Germany faster than this. There are folks who have died waiting, folks putting off urgent medical needs, folks who have started and then finished college and are now moving on to graduate degrees. And here we sit, twiddling our thumbs, waiting for the billionaire to finally pull the trigger. He's already a billionaire. He's got all the time in the world. He can borrow at 2% against his vast wealth and avoid taxes. What's his rush? Oops, that's a typo. Huz rush. Right? He can campaign to elect the man who would vaporize the bottom line of GameStop with tariffs. Ryan is a Jewish immigrant. If things get really bad, he can just hop on a private jet to the big beautiful bill made 100% tax-free and fuck off to Canada and enjoy his spoils while the rest of us watch our democracy and quality of life dematerialize before our eyes. For fuck's sake, pull the trigger, dude. You claim to hate short sellers, and we retail investors have given you the money and means to have obliterated shorts a dozen different ways by now. And every step of the way, you kill our price action and delay the execution. This stock should have had phone book numbers as a price by now. You could have let the options chain explode and diluted a fraction of the shares into the market than you have already and amassed 10 times as much capital. You could have bought up every strip mall that contains a GameStop while commercial real estate is in the toilet and be making $400 million a year renting out the other units and somehow flip substantial and have substantial equity reserves as a result. You can issue a digital dividend or a cash dividend whenever you like and put the shorts on the hook for PILs, payment and lose. You can tokenize the stock and eviscerate the shorts and force them to scramble to close positions. Instead, we twiddle our thumbs, watch members of the community blow away in the wind due to unexpected medical emergencies, layoffs, etc. You want to become the next Warren Buffett? You want to inspire the loyalty he has gotten? Then reward your shareholders. Throw us a fucking bone, man. The hourglass is almost empty for a lot of people out there. Turn that potential energy into kinetic energy. Oh, God damn it. First one in a while. I think I've gone like a dozen shows without doing that. So crap. Well, anyway, just put my thoughts out there. It's been a long, long time. I mean, last year I was feeling this, and then we had one hell of a gamma ramp that Ryan killed twice, and then that's just so demoralizing. You're like, we're so close. We're about to have this thing put 60 million shares in the money on a Friday while the price is insane. We're going to see triple digits by next week, quadruple digits by next week. And then, no, dilute. Okay, cool. You have a war chest. We were stoked about having $1 billion in the war chest. Where's articles for people about, oh my God, they got $1 billion. We're going to make this. And now we got almost $10 billion and still nothing. Nothing. The stock price is the equivalent of like 90 something dollars 4 years ago before the split. And 4 years ago, the stock price was like 150. So here we are, just twiddling thumbs, waiting, watching everything just decay around us. And there's one guy at the top who could just push that button. You know, he does little things, you know, PSAs and putting toys in stores, but he's also done a lot of cutting, which means revenue gets absolutely just charred to a crisp. And so despite the fact you're making profits, when Wall Street has the excuse of like, oh, well, the revenue's dropping, so we're going to keep that stock price low. I don't want there to be any reasons to keep the stock price low. I want you to check off every single solitary box that could be an excuse for shorts to keep the price action down. The best way to do that is to turn your company into a dividend stock. Absolutely the best way to do that. Start handing out dividends. Doesn't need to be much. 10 cents a share per quarter. So what? Right? Because it's 40 cents a year, that's with 400 million, that's like $200 million. You guys are making more than that with just, you know, interest on bonds that you hold. So do something. Do something. Well, David Hensley's here. And they're making live. Awesome. Well, it's good because I don't remember seeing you. Turkish. Feeding time for monkey butt. Oh, monkey butt, why do you think? She'd move. Oh, knocking things on myself. There we go. One of these. You want that right there? You put it in your mouth? There you go. All right. Feeding time for monkey butt. She got it. I need to get a new monkey can. This monkey can is quite terrible. Okay. Murphy Turf Studios. The internet is so shitty that Chrome got rid of uBlock. I don't know what uBlock is. So I have to look that up. That was just my ghost host. That was just my connection. Lisa saw. What's more depressing, losing the Wimbledon final 6-0, 6-0 in under an hour, or paying a minimum of £250 for the match ticket? Oh, yeah. To get absolutely just dominated like that, are they hungover? I mean, £250 in an hour, that's rich people. That's nothing for rich people, so, oh well. But yeah, you don't want to do that on the global stage. All right, Shadow. Look at the FTDs for chart exchange to show the 17th. Yeah, the T35 is the 17th, which is, I keep looking it up, Thursday this week? 14, 15, 16. Yeah, Thursday. So get your ducks in a row for some options maybe on the 13th. See what we had in store. Ron Rose, AMC, big time barcoding today, sickening. I don't even look at AMC anymore. Adam Aaron did everything 100% wrong. He could have come to the shareholders with a plan. Back when the shareholders at 85% of the company, could have been like, I got a plan. If this thing goes puny pop, right, which it has several times, this thing goes puny pop, I will dilute this many shares into the market, pay off all of our debt. Cool. Done. Debt's gone, right? Instead, he created the pounce, which also could have worked if he had allowed it to get to T plus 90, because the payment in lieu would have resulted in all of those guys who had borrowed shares have to go out in the market and pick up a whole bunch of the ape shares to make good for it, and the price would have skyrocketed. But instead, he diluted. He let the price get crushed by the shorts, and then he diluted hundreds of millions of them in the market at below market prices. And he just killed everything. And since then, like, the stock price gets to like $3, like, no, I gotta sell 500 million shares. And he pays off like this much of their debt and obligations. Whereas if you had just decided, I'm gonna release these ape shares, they're $10 a share, I'm going to sell what? 100 million of them, pay off $1 billion. 500 million of them, which is what he eventually did, could pay off $5 billion and basically all of their debt. But he didn't do that. He waited until the stock price was like 55 cents and then he sold it at like 40 cents. It's ridiculous. So, no, I don't. Adam Aaron sucks. absolutely sucks. He's a sucky little sucky man. So yeah, I don't pay attention at all what AMC is doing anymore. I've just written them off entirely. At least GameStop, while not paying us off at all, has something to show for their actions. There is money in the account. They do make a profit. They have no debt that matters, right? We got the 0% interest debt, so who cares about that? You can just pay it off in shares or the billions you already have. So, yeah. But there goes. There we go. Okay. Well, I lost my spot here. Where'd you go? There you go, Fred Jones. Look, I talked to RC and he said he still does not know why retail thinks he will do anything to help them. Just been watching. JD Disneyland video and loop all day. Oh, you've seen JD do his nerd jog at Disneyland. I find it pretty amazing that JD Vance and the Trump administration have just been like shitting on California as a state, not just Newsom or the leadership of California, being like, California is a crime-ridden hellhole. You know, people are dying in the streets, blah blah blah. And then he goes there for vacation twice in the last month. Like, that's interesting. Shelley Schlieff's The Superman save Warner Brothers HBO, or can it? Yeah, I think people will turn out for Superman. Gunn knows how to make a superhero movie. He can do ones that are tearjerkers. He can do ones that'll make you laugh your ass off. Yeah, 100%. He has a better vision for this than Zack Snyder ever will. Zack Snyder does not understand humans. And he should never be allowed around a green screen ever again. His movie, when he made the remake of Dawn of the Dead, that is a brilliant film, shot on location with actual props and sets and everything else, and it works. He got a lust for the green screen from 300, which served its purpose. It was not quite as good as the hype build up to it, and then the man has never filmed on location since. So everything just has this like chintzy, crappy CGI feel to it that just doesn't translate to human emotion. Also, he's way too in love with his own scripts, and the writing is terrible, absolutely just awful. So perhaps James Gunn getting in there and fixing all this will be good. And I think it's really important right now we are kind of how do I put this? We're kind of embroiled in a timeline similar to when the creators of Superman made Superman. The creators of Superman were Jewish immigrants who were the children of folks who fled pogroms in Europe, persecution in Europe. And they made a superhero who was himself an undocumented immigrant in America. And in canon, Superman recognizes he's undocumented. He recognizes that they faked his birth certificate and he was here in legal papers. And he got a job as a lowly journalist, right? Making terrible income, terrible money. and yet he still tries to do his best. And I think that's a really good baseline story for a lot of the folks who need it right now. There are folks who need it because they need to see somebody that they can identify with, and they need to see it because they need to see that you know, all immigrants in this country bring something to the fold, bring something to us. And the cat is now yelling at me to come to the side, so I'm gonna go get him. Get in here, you turd. Go faster. All right, go, 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 go. Nope, I get to sit down first. Then you can come up here. All right, come on. There we go. Ah. Move it. Move it or lose it, Toots. Don't put a stamp on my hand. Come on. All right. No, don't take the magnets off. Just, let me put like a glass case on this thing. Go over here and eat drugs. That'll distract you. Eat some drugs. You absolute terrorist. Okay, yeah, eat up. Okay. Danny Moots, happy birthday. Goodbye now with low volatility. Yeah, I mean, GameStop's going to pop again when the T35s kick off because there was millions of shares that had gone undelivered. So, yeah, they're going to have to go out there and have to go buy them. And I mean, most of it's going to be pushed through dark pools as always, but at the same time, you know, there still will be pressure on the market for a lot of it. Andrew Cuomo, Citizen 54, Andrew Cuomo launches independent New York City mayoral bid after loss to Zohran Mamdani. Gross old white guys ruining things as usual. Well, the good thing is I don't think Cuomo is going to take any votes away from Mamdani. What's going to happen is he's going to split the vote with Eric Adams for the worst people in New York, and then Mamdani's going to win. Eric Adams like, please don't run, please no, and oops. Kathleen Sweeney still waiting on MMTLP. Any idea where it's at? Not a clue. We haven't had an update from MMTLP in a while. They are embroiled in a whole bunch of legal stuff. I mean, a year ago they were filing, was it Section 200 inquiries where you say, hey, I might sue you, but I need some information from you to figure out if I am going to sue you or not, to like TradeStation and other brokerages. And then they lost their University Lands deal, probably because of something really shady and graft happening in Texas, to force the University Lands Board to be like, you can't have this anymore, despite the fact that they're meeting all their requirements and whatnot for maintaining those leases. So my guess is there's just legal action upon legal action upon legal action happening, and we're not hearing about it because none of that stuff's been made public yet. And so, like everything else, we sit and we wait and we, ponder, and I feel like I have an eyelash stabbing me in the eyeball right now. And we twiddle our thumbs and Lardubs, hey Houston, bravo to your Twitter thread. I'm so over this play, I want to move on from this tinfoil and this country before it implodes. That's kind of how I feel. I have the luxury of being a blue-eyed white guy, and I can blend into things if I really have to. But some folks do not have that luxury. So yeah, I totally get it. I totally get it. Scorpion95. A news on BBBY or MMTLP. I suck for getting into these two socks. MMTLP, again, right back there, nothing. De nada. BBBY, same old. People dig into the old dockets, and they go, oh, look at this thing. This means we won. I do think we've won on BBBY. I just don't understand why we're still waiting. That's basically what I come down to. That it's pretty explicit in the plan that the new entity can emerge while the lawsuits and everything else still keep going on. So they have the opportunity to emerge with something and then have the plan man still do his thing. So, and clawbacks and all that stuff. So I don't know. I don't know why it's taking so long on that. They were showing some dockets in the 16B case showing that there were two large investors, one unnamed and one being Hudson Bay Company, who wanted majority control of the company, and so they were buying up all those shares. And that it's very likely they did it through multiple brokerage accounts under multiple banks, so that when that huge buy up happened, it didn't trigger any information, warning signs to anybody else. So there's somebody in control, probably Ryan Cohen, but here we sit, waiting. Jeffrey Epstein was a Mossad agent, or at least a Mossad asset, likely. I mean, I wouldn't doubt if he worked with several intelligence agencies, sort of as a information broker of sorts. Yeah, it seems very likely to me. Rykak been lurking here for years, and you finally got outed. Different line, Houston. I was on Twitter for the first time in ages and got recommended a tweet from Michael of the PP Show, and my God, is he ever down bad, begging for money for options. Yeah, I love losing money on options. I do it. It's my vice. Also win every once in a while. I had a good win last week. Yeah, he's asking for people to lend him money to play options. He must really be in debt. I can't imagine what's going on. Never bet more than you can afford. Never borrow to play. These are really simple rules. Sometimes you lose and you go, well, shit, right? You have to have the internal fortitude. You have to be stronger than the lizard brain part of you, which is like double or nothing, right? You have to have some sort of strength of character to avoid that. And if you are at the point where you've got to borrow money from strangers to hopefully win big, then I don't know. Gamblers Anonymous is where you got to go. If it comes between I got to play options or pay my mortgage or feed my kids, you gotta step back and go, this isn't for me, right? Become nothing but a passive investor. Put it into dividend stocks and ETFs and just set it and forget it, 200 a month, whatever, and don't be an active investor at that point. So, yeah. Also, I wonder if he's going to go for any welfare when he's finally at the bottom, because I know he's a super duper Trumper and doesn't think people should be leeching off the system. So that'd be interesting. Corey Jones super chats, bro. Free movies on YouTube have saved my life. Kids just watched Hook and we loved it. Noted. I've seen Hook in 30 years. Rufio. Hey, cat. Get your tail off my thing. Get your tail off my thing. Get off my thing. Okay. Adam Davey, do you believe solid-state batteries are in the near future? It seems like people say it's only a couple years away and then it doesn't come. What's the holdup? 2027 is when Toyota says they're going to have it in their cars. I believe that's about the time scale I think most folks set out, is at 2027. Some of them thought it'd be 2025, which is this year, before we start seeing more of them in like commercial devices. Although Cat Power Tools had them out a couple years ago in their power tools, and they store like 20 times the energy in like 1/50th the charging time, and they aren't even the best type of solid state batteries. There's lots of different solid state versions. There'll be the sodium ion solid states, and then of course the aluminum ion solid states, and the graphene batteries from GMG. But yeah, solid states are going to be the big disruptor, because they're fireproof, which is a huge deal, because they don't have to have the cooling and heating systems on those batteries. So like temperatures affect them. You can be in frozen countries like northern Canada, Sweden, Norway, whatever, and your car will still maintain its charge and have the same amount of distance available to it. And then you have the fact that it has a higher storage per kilogram of energy and a much faster charge time. So theoretically, if you get enough of the graphene aluminum ion cells from GMG, enough of those suckers, I mean, it would be thousands and thousands and thousands of those cells all wired up together, but you would lose the weight of the heating and cooling systems and the fire management system. So boom, there goes half the weight density of the batteries systems currently. And you can replace that with even more batteries, which gets you twice as many batteries that a current electric car has at 10 plus times the energy density. So imagine a Tesla now, which has a giant, 2,000 pound system and has a range of 300 miles. Well, now it'd be a 2,000 pound system with twice the number of batteries. So you think, oh, a range of 6,000 miles. No. Or sorry, 600 miles. No, it'll be a range of like 6,000 miles. And you'd be able to charge it in under 5 minutes. So it would be like pulling up to a gas station, go click, you like fuck around your phone for a minute or two and it goes ding, full, and you're done. And you just take off for another, half a year. Drive to New York and back, whatever. So yeah, that's going to be a big game changer, especially for green energy technologies like solar and wind, where wind's not blowing all the time. So you can now store it in these solid state batteries for long periods of time before you release it back in, at night or whatever. Or, same thing for solar. If the sun goes down, you have energy storage to send out to everybody. And you don't have to have these very expensive systems that are not super efficient because they require so much heating and cooling to keep them going. So yeah, it's coming. It's coming. We just got to, the manufacture of these batteries is much more precise than current manufacturing standards. And there's only a few companies in the world that can actually develop the tooling needed to build these things. And like Bosch is one of those companies. And just building a small system is going to cost you hundreds of millions of dollars. So getting all this to scale is going to take time. But once it's here, they'll be everywhere. The exploding lithium batteries of the past will be of the past at that point. At least I saw Chelsea FC overcame the other teams, sniffling heat and empty stadiums to lift the FIFA World Cup, except Trump photobombed their moment of glory. I personally thought that Paris Saint-Germain was going to win it all, and I'm honestly surprised that Chelsea did. Paris Saint-Germain just dismantled Real Madrid, and I thought they had the momentum, but hey, way to go, Chelsea. Yeah. You know why the stadiums are empty? Because the fans who would come here are not coming here. A friendly in the past, if you had Chelsea come play a friendly even a year ago, you would have had 30,000 people fly from the UK to watch that game. And here they are winning the first ever Club World Cup, and no one came because they're giving both barrels to America right now. That's why. They're telling us to fuck off, which means we're going to have empty stadiums for the actual World Cup. We're going to have empty stadiums for the Olympics. I do think that there's a chance the Olympics are not going to be played in the U.S., that they will have them elsewhere because of how Trump is treating foreigners and how he's destabilizing places like Los Angeles with the secret police. They're going to be hosting that. It'd be smarter for FIFA and the Olympic Committee to pick alternate sites for this, honestly, because you're going to have a whole bunch of foreigners here who are going to have a real bad time, and they're going to go back to their countries with complaints, and we're going to lose the opportunities for any of this stuff. Conventions won't come here. We won't have international play. It's going to be bad. So, Jews Mammy, Attorney General Bondi posted today that English is the official language of the U.S., but no mention of Jeffrey Epstein. Yeah, English is not the official language of the U.S. There is no official language of the U.S. As a matter of fact, during the early days from the Constitutional Congress Convention on, Ben Franklin tried to make German the official language of the United States, despite the fact there not being a majority German speakers here, simply because he wanted to cut all ties with the British English and the Crown and just remove us entirely. It was determined that there would be no official language, and to this day there is not. So Pam Bondi is full of shit, and that's why her ethics lawyer got fired. Ron Rose, noticing empty storefronts everywhere near my house. Craziness. It's happening. I mean, for me, the real big shock was the lack of booths at our 4th of July celebrations here on Bainbridge. Bainbridge is a population of 25,000 people, but we get over 40,000 people that come to our 4th of July because we do it right, man. You got the fun runs, the bike races, and fun parade, and fireworks, and street dances, all sorts of stuff. And normally there's tons of food booths, probably 40 or 50 booths. You know, people cooking African food, Honduran, Filipino, like just tons of booths cooking all sorts of cool food. There's about half the normal number. There's an entire street in the past that was for artwork and schlock and, you know, trinkets and whatnot. No one showed up. No one. There were like no trinket shop booths whatsoever, and barely any artwork booths. We're talking an entire city block that's normally full of probably 50 to 100 booths just gone. Why? My guess is they can't get their items from overseas. It's too expensive. They got priced out and they're done. So they couldn't show up and make their living, you know, with their little flea market type sales. They're just gone. So for mom and pop shops who are facing all this uncertainty, you know, you're like, okay, I can buy this number of Bainbridge Island t-shirts and get this done, and then all of a sudden the price doubles on them. You're not buying those things. You don't have the cash for it. So close shop. You're done. Yeah. So yeah, it's I'm sure we're gonna have more of that coming. Let's see what we gotta do with Nope. Got him. Okay. Bitcoin, Adam. It's just a laboratory experiment at this time. The technology hasn't been invented yet to produce it. Decades away. Talking about the solid state batteries. They're here. They exist. Just hasn't been a factory built to scale yet that can handle it. Shadow Fire, they're going to make a movie, The Unification of the Hawaiian Islands from an indigenous perspective. Chief of War trailer out. I'll have to go check that out. Hey guys, Houston, can you please do a scheduled super chat request for a podcast software replacement? Because the software you are using is a giant massive dog shit. Who's looking at this? As it is ghetto. I mean, Streamlabs is the only one I know. I know there's others out there, but Senate Sapien, Houston, happy birthday and long-time listener. Can you stop the general moaning constantly? That's all we have, man. If you got good news for me, send it my way. But the doom and gloom is pretty much all we have at the moment. I mean, Cal Raleigh was one homer away from setting the record for the most home runs before All-Star break. I guess that's good news. The fact that the two of the most prolific home run hitters before the All-Star break are Mariners, and also probably the only two that never did steroids is also, I guess, good news. Trying to think of other good news, Kitty. Do you have anything for me? You did eviscerate a little mouse that was on the porch. I saw that earlier, so that must have made you happy, huh? Yeah? Oh, yeah. You got chomp. It feels so good you got chomp. You got chomp on me. Ow. Fart. Yeah, give me, Sapien, give me some good news, and we'll talk about it. Citizen 54, when did MOAS go from economy collapse, will kill collateral causing MOAS, to RC must set off MOAS. Economy hasn't collapsed, so why does RC matter? Why not vote him out? What if GME goes private? Well, GME probably could go private at this point. They'd probably say, hey, we're just going to take ourselves private with this $9 billion. We're going to buy off all of your shares. Take a few of us with them. And then reemerge at some point. They could totally do that. I don't know. There are multiple ways MOAS can happen. If the value of blue chips or U.S. treasuries plummet so much that the collateral being used for these margin plays just shrinks, right? Contracts, MOAS. Then you're going to be forced to close positions and close out those things. If the value of the company being shorted explodes, that increases your liabilities in exactly the same fashion, margin calls, etc. If you increase the liabilities because you do a dividend of some kind, right? And now these shorts have to come up with the cash to cover those positions, and they don't have that cash. They have liquidity crunch, margin calls, MOAS. You can do something that traps them, that forces them to close positions, such as taking the company onto a blockchain exchange, like T0. This would force them to go out there and have X number of days to close their positions with the DTCC and pay everybody off. There's things you can do. You can do a reverse merger and do a company that's got 5 billion short shares and do a 1-for-1 with the legit shares, and all of a sudden force all those shorts to go out and replace shares they short at 7 cents with shares that are worth $25, $30. That's another way to do it. So yeah, you can be active about this, and you can do it, and you could be the one who gets listed in the history books for taking down a giant corrupt marketing system. Or you can just sit back and hope that the corrupt system helps you out. But that's not what corrupt systems do. The corrupt system is going to be against you every step of the way. So you're gonna have to take a little action. As I've told this before, when I was a little kid, went our first camping trip ever. I was maybe 5, and passed by a hitchhiker. I'm like, "What's with that dude? He's got his thumb out." My mom says, "That's a hitchhiker. They're walking with their thumb out, hoping that's a signal that you will stop, pick them up, and give them a ride." She's like, "I don't generally pick up hitchhikers, especially with small children in the car. But if you're going to pick up hitchhikers, pick up the hitchhikers who are walking. You don't want to pick up the ones who are just sitting there with their thumb out, not going anywhere. They have to have an alternate plan. They have to have a secondary plan. So if you are not going to pick them up, they're still going to get to the location anyway. It may take longer, but they're going to get there. So that's why I don't pick up the ones that are walking, right? Right now, it feels like Ryan's got his thumb out, but he's not walking anywhere. He's got to have an alternate plan. So start walking, dude. Start walking. I read these puff pieces, and they're like, Ryan Cohen, only traveled for business 4 times with Chewy. Okay. He now lives 4 states away from his headquarters. We see him on TV at Knicks games. He's a billionaire now. He wasn't a billionaire then. He couldn't afford to go on business trips all the time. Now he can do whatever the hell he wants. He's got a private jet. So, you could talk about the times the founder or the starter ate ramen noodles and slept in the office, but it is not that person anymore. He now has a waterfront mansion and boats and helicopters and second homes and private jets and model girlfriends and all that stuff. So it's yeah. Ryan Cohen did these things like an average person back when he was an average person. Cool. Awesome. Neat. Now more. Hazel A, hi, Pam Bondi and Trump are trying to sweep Epstein under the rug. Thankfully, too many MAGA are not okay with that. Who knew that a dead guy, rest in peace, would be MAGA kryptonite? Spelled correctly? Kryptonite's with a K, I think. Apparently, Ghislaine Maxwell, Gascan Maxwell's lawyer, said that she'd be willing to testify in front of Congress, and today Republicans blocked her from testifying in front of Congress. So, interesting. If anyone has a connection to Ghislaine Maxwell and want to get her on the podcast, she can come spill her beans right here. Hey, Gascan, you can spill your beans right here. I will only recommend you so much for being a child rapist, but you can redeem yourself in front of the public by outing all of your co-conspirators and the people you helped facilitate these crimes. So at least clear that from your conscience, you rapey douchebag. You can do that here. I will gladly accept you zooming in from prison or wherever you are, and we can talk about it. Sound cool? Right? From your prison phone? Okay. How Bazaar. I really hope RC reads that tweet. He may or may not. I don't know. He's probably in the chat right now. One of these days, Julio's going to get him with a lurker fishing. J-Dog, BTC ETF monthly dividends are juicy. Go Mariners. Oh, yeah. The dividends on Coney are bonkers. So still trading at like $10. Coney dividend history. So this guy. For non-NASDAQ symbols. Oh, goddamn, don't give me the NASDAQ one, you jerk. Okay. Here we go. So this is a $10 stock, right? Dividends are currently 113%, $11.36 a year. They're paying out from starting in October 2023, $1.20, $2.40, $2.60, $1.60, $2.70, $2.20, bucks. Don't do that crap. Go away. $1.60, $1.50, $1, $2, $1.30, 80 cents, $1, 59 cents, 40 cents, 60, 70. So the yields have gone down a bit recently because they got some hurting back in April, but still paying out 113%. So you're doubling your money passively with something like this. Granted, it will probably, once we get a Bitcoin collapse, because there will be a Bitcoin or crypto collapse at some point. It's in a bubble too. That will crush with it, but you'll probably still be at 25-30% in your yields. Yeah, there's money to be made there. Kikedian, what reworded me? Oh, woefully playable resorted. Okay, let's do it. What? 3 words. Whatever. Okay. I know how this works. And paste. Boom. International College of Dubstepology. Oh, really? It's just a floodplain. International College of Dubstepology and like a little, was a rice field? Where are we? We're on top of a mountain. Buddhist temple. So we're on top of a mountain in North Korea? Okay. International College of Dubstepology. That's like that reminds me of the Shalom Wizard Academy in General Whatchamajigger Philippines. General Santos City. Here we go. It'll pop up somewhere in here. The Shalom Wizard Academy. Okay, what are you? Grand Resources, General Santos. What are you? Nope. Heights Elementary School. Oh man, I'm gonna find it. Bible College. Oh, he popped up when we were doing GeoGuessr like 2 years ago. The Shalom Wizard Academy. I know you're in this area. I know you are. Dyson, Carnage Apartment. Shalom Wizard Academy. Come on, man. I'm going to have to do the Google Earth to find Shalom Wizard Academy. Let's see if we can find it. Shalom Wizard Academy. General Santos City. There we go. It's going to be right by where I was looking, isn't it? I know it. Boom. Oh, I was a couple blocks south. There we go. The Shalom Crest Wizard Academy. Looks like an actual school, like a school with like an actual like play field. It's got a basketball court next door. Strongman gyms right there. Shalom Crest Wizard Academy. Can I do a street view of that? Take me there. Take me down to the Shalom Crest Wizard Academy. My tutorial center. Okay, Alaba Loves, Wash Dry Food. And Shalom Crest Wizard Academy. They have a volleyball team? I love this actual place. Yeah, it's a full-on school. They have like sports and everything. It's open 25 years. Wait, got it. Let me go over here one sec. Okay. Wizardenroll@gmail.com. ShalomCrestWizardAcademy.gsc. This is... I was not expecting it to be an actual business, to be honest. It was... I thought it was going to be a joke. But no. It's existed for 25 years. 25 years as an actual school. Anybody in General Santos, Philippines? I don't know if any of you are watching right now. Can you please find me a graduate of the Shalom Crest Wizard Academy? I want to see their degree certificate. I want a t-shirt of it. Can I get Shalom Crest Wizard Academy merch? What was it? It was shalom.gsc? Was that what it was? Google. Wizard.enroll at Gmail, but scwa.gsc. 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 General Santos City. Shalom Crest Wizard Academy. Okay. So, it takes me to their Facebook page. Oh, Google Earth, turn you off. Blink. Oh, here we go. Here's an award from Shalom Quest. Okay. Shalom Crest. Congratulations. No, go back. Where'd you go? Nope. Take me back to Shalom Quest Wizard Academy. Education Center, Suffolk County Water Authority. So apparently they only have a Facebook page. That's what it directs to, I guess. swac.gsc. Nope. Southwestern Athletic Conference. Whoops, I did that wrong. Shalom Crest Wizard Academy.gsc. S. Shalom Crest Wizard Academy.gsc. Yeah. So we got water quality. So come on, Shalom Quest. Shalom Crest Wizard Academy. Facebook page. Shalom Quest Wizard Facebook page. Oh, they got Instagram. They have a WordPress page. Can I get a Shalom Crest Wizard Academy t-shirt? Oops, t-shirt. Yes. Shalom Crest Wizard Academy Incorporated Total Development. I can get a t-shirt. How? Tell me. Welcome, little wizards. I need to get a ticket to the Philippines. I'm going to do a live stream from Shalom Crest Wizard Academy. Hey, a sweet little playground. Check that out. All right. They're getting worked on the inside. Way to go, Shalom Crest Wizard Academy. I fucking love that so much. Okay. Okay. Jay Geyser. I think Cohen doing the same as Adam Aaron now. Any chance plunge team or hedge fund mafia thugs just telling them they have to dilute? I know you have a blue no matter who level of conspiracy denial. If anything, now that Ryan Cohen's in South Florida with like in Billionaire Row, I would not doubt if other billionaires around him are like, you can be a member of our club, but only if you don't fuck around. That could be a thing. But I'm of the mentality that if someone is like, you better not, I'll be like, but I am. What are you gonna do about it? So I kind of push that limit. I don't know if Ryan is one of those people, but it's definitely not Adam Aaron level, because Adam Aaron diluted while taking on more debt. Like basically he's been treading water in like debt land and not being able to get out. So no, I don't think it's at Adam Aaron level at all. It is at like total flat trading sideways. Adam Aaron is 90% of your money, 99% of your money is gone. That's where it is. Home Run Derby starts in 1 hour. Oh, speaking of 1 hour, I gotta get going. I'll see you guys tomorrow for a show, and we'll talk more then. Sorry to get to everybody's chit chats, but we'll get there eventually. And if anyone can find a Shalom Quest Wizard Academy link to buy a t-shirt or something, send it my way. I will totally buy one. Okay, you guys have a great day. Au revoir, and how about we do this one more time? Drugs.